found myself into something I can't get out of.
This
Music's opened up the Beethoven.
It's very nice to see you.
I see.
Lover. Mother.
Mother? My name is Tristan Theremin, and today I'm so excited to react to the Vampire Lestat with you all. Before we begin, I want to say that I'm going into this completely blind, so I've not read the book. Because I know I'm prone to always say the book is superior to any movie representation, so I'm going to watch this show first, so as to pay respect to the interpretation that these directors and writers and actors gave, which they are fabulous from what I've seen so far in the previous 2 seasons. To introduce myself, my name is Tristan Theremin. I'm a hopeful lawyer. I grew up queer and Christian, and I hope to start this YouTube channel to fight for representation in media and in the stories that we tell, because I saw representation and found hope in the television series that I grew up on, despite the fact that I grew up in a mostly homophobic community. And so I want to do the same for people growing up now, for them to gain the opportunity to see themselves and to find hope, and to know that there are others like them around them. As for my thoughts on the previous seasons and kind of what I'm hoping to see / what I predict to see, we know that we left off with Louis and Lestat racing one another in the hurricane-filled environment of New Orleans. They embraced, they whispered to each other their last thoughts, which we, the audience, did not hear against the rain, and it looks like they're on a trajectory to becoming amicable, to becoming perhaps friends, lovers again. But who knows, with vampires, they're fucking traumatized, you know? So they might fight and quarrel again this season. I do want them to be together, but from what I know, not really the main story of this season. It's not going to be the main focus, but that is alright. We know that Daniel was turned by Armand. Louis says it was out of spite, but I don't find that consistent with Armand's character, in the fact that he has not turned a single vampire in 500 years, and it's not plausible that all of a sudden, because he was angry at Louis, he's going to turn Daniel. I think there's something more to it, and I'm hoping to find out more in this season, and that we see more of Daniel, because I love his journalistic tomfoolery. It's amazing. Well, with my thoughts forgone, let's get on to episode 1. I predict that they're going full rockstar, as I expect of Lestat, and we're coming away from the gothic romance the Interview with the Vampire was in the books, and going full glam 1980s Prince Kiss rockstar.
Previously on the show formerly titled Interview with Vampire. So,
Daniel
Mr.
Malone.
Dulac, how long have you been dead?
He was my murderer, my mentor, my lover, and my maker. All of those things at once.
Claudia, love has always been difficult for me.
I'm guessing you haven't heard from my maker.
So, the intro, of course, is always meant for people who have not watched the show and they want you to know this information before we get into the new season. It looks like they're not presenting a specific narrative other than what's really happened. They actually don't explain that Lestat is the one who actually saved Louis in the intro, which is interesting. It means that there might be an opportunity for Lestat to argue his case in this new series. Let's get back to it.
C'est cool.
Interesting. auction? A will reading? What could this be? Armand? He's lost an eye? What happened? Okay, Raglan from Telemascus then.
To extend its gratitude for your compliance unorthodox requisites of. Furthermore, we
Louis,
reiterate that
the
the immunity that you
king.
have been given to you. We are not here, and neither are you. Your recordings of the Cat de Liancourt, which include his 2020 self-titled album, The VAMPIRE LESTAT,
Set in the modern day, interesting.
Original handwritten score and private recording by the VAMPIRE LESTAT himself. I perform the following action.
That is Solus his auction items. Oh my word, such a drama queen. Louis knows.
We will begin the third row. Spirit. Number 2. A music by the VAMPIRE LESTAT himself, with a magnum of blood from the curator himself. Level.
Interesting.
Of audio best described as consequential global keys that sprung from said, or as narrated by the VAMPIRE LESTAT.
Global catastrophe. What could they have done? Did they kill all the humans? Was there a plague? Did they turn all the vampires back into humans, or humans into vampires? I guess we'll have to figure that out.
The failures. We will begin the bidding.
You are hearing this now. You must be a very privileged individual. You bought my box instead. I like you already. So let's begin in the middle. For I could and should have ended it there. The regretful dead, the traumatized still alive, somewhere other than they are today. And
Louis and Armand just exchanged a look, and it doesn't seem that they're quite enemies. It was pretty friendly, kind of joking, kind of teasing, as if they'd teamed up against Lestat, like, we know that Lestat would be like this kind of smile. That was interesting. I wonder if we'll get to see how they've made up after the events of last season. And also, Lestat's voice. Very good for ASMR. Got to say.
extinction of the Y chromosome across the continents was all my fault. Just a level
Extinction
of
of the
self-importance
Y
of an unknown
chromosome.
country.
All the men are gone? They're
Made a
here.
contribution.
What does that even mean?
It was the spring of 2025. A good nation was making itself great again. My pretty baby. I named the band after myself.
This is so hedonistically Lestat is like flaunting his looks and vampirism once more again and kind of crashing out. It's perfectly 80s rock style though. He's definitely getting that vibe. And I can see the progression from theatre and being the star of the show there to being the star of the show at a concert. And I heard that they actually filmed this concert in real life, like with fans of the show, and so I find that very fascinating and amazing. I never, of course, got the chance to go, but if I had, that would have been cool.
Frontman made sideman, guitar neck nightly wishing. Brother Alex, the more talented seedling, straight-edged and in the dirty pocket. We dropped songs on the streams and booked
Personally, she
intimate
reminds me
venues
of
to induce what
Robin
Jen's
from Stranger
cosplay left
Things.
in the stripes, notched and already of adequacy. Hello.
Welcome to Detroit.
Song sucks.
That's quite an allusion to sex. Sex, all rock stars and vampires must do. Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Well, that was boring. We're trash.
He's right.
On the guitar. I do. I signed the check, but it's because his blood protects the band
Contracts
from the
can't be
world's
signed in
envy.
red ink, but
Our
you
band
do
show
you,
was
Lestat.
high-fired, extreme prejudice. I'm going to my vampire dressing room now, and yeah, it's a vodka bottle. I was filming a
Ruining the
documentary at the time.
the brat rinse the sword.
What?
Missing contact. How many drinks have you had? Drive to the bar, sit by yourself in a booth,
That
order
is
the
Sam
usual.
Reed
Big
playing
tip.
the role.
Meet us back in
Oh
the city.
my
Now you'd
word.
think a 54 city rock
He's
tour would
so
be a
good at,
wonderful
like,
cover
changing
for a
his
blood
body.
drinker. Hide your keel up on the bus, wave
cool.
to them. A sloppy night in Corvallis made urgent the need for a body dump. His name is Jarda Kleppe, gangsters
Jarda
Christine
Kleppe.
Hyde. But I, the Vampire Lestat, was Daniel Malloy's fictitious creation by a bricklaying. Nothing but a desperate cash grab at the end of a chuggy vampire fad. The sound, I hope, would counter Mr. Dulac's portrayal of me as a mayonnaise villain with sociopathic tendencies. Most of humanity moved on from vampires. I am the Vampire Lestat. I am a god. Gods are not swipe.
The contest.
Useful idiot.
I am not here.
Okay. Sometimes the reference jokes are too overused, but the fact that they're continuing the gag of I am not here, it's a pretty good one. Not like in previous shows where being gay was the gag. This is better.
Punch the boom again.
So that outfit, want
So,
that so bad.
You and Louis talking again? He doesn't return my text. Here he's back in the States.
Who's he texting?
We good? Having accumulated profound wisdom and experience through the dark gift of immortality, why have you chosen to waste it singing music no one wants to hear?
You get me to repeat myself soon enough, I am sure, once you confront your transformational trauma.
I don't have transformational trauma.
Every vampire has transformational trauma. That's a foreshadowing, if not the one.
Is it true you were a stutterer as a child? Louis said you were.
Was he there? Century Vert?
Them
Did I
back.
threaten Claudia with rape on a train? Was I in the room when Donizetti wrote Don Pasquale? No, and impossible, because I had buried myself underground for the vast majority of the 1800s.
I wrote what he...
Interesting. So we saw, or we thought we saw, that Claudia had written this in her journals, that Lestat had threatened to do the same thing that Bryce, the American vampire, had done to Claudia on that train. But Lestat is saying that no, that was entirely a lie, that Louis had made it all up. And I know that in the previous season, we know that the last thing that we saw of Lestat was truly the only time that it wasn't Lestat from Louis's memory or Armand's memory. And this is when we're truly getting the full picture. But I can't tell which memory to believe. Perhaps none. Perhaps that is the message that we are to take, that all of these vampires will just tell a story that benefits who they want to be seen as, what they hope to be seen as, what they hope to excuse, and what they hope to be praised for and condemned for, and it is all an odyssey of memory, as Louis said beforehand.
Facts are irrelevant. Feel are everything.
That is an interesting statement from Lestat, because I suspect that romanticism, that emotion is what is important over scientific rationality, is the entirety of Lestat's character in a way. That's why he's so hedonistic. It's the way that he survives. It's the way that he survives his own trauma that he is likely to have from being turned, from his experiences, because vampires are humans just taking away their mortality and intensifying their emotions and desires and loneliness forever and forever, unable to heal from their trauma. And so how else is Lestat supposed to survive? How else is Louis supposed to survive? How else is Armand supposed to survive? They find coping skills. And to me it seems like to Lestat, hedonism and emotionality and going all out and being praised and then crying it all out and bawling it all out, that's the way he copes. But we'll see more of that, I suppose.
No more safe spaces. It's my era.
True, your band was formed on Halloween?
You were listening to The Failures, Album 2, Side B.
What do you think?
It's nice. Yeah.
It's
nice.
Louis
I was
from the amicable.
It's nice. And it says everything I wanted to express. Don't be a bitch about it.
They're such an old married couple.
I have a
It's
space above the
amazing.
bed in one of the guest.
Oh, a guest room. You want me to come and see your guest room?
Everyone mangles French just like you do. Come to me.
Ah, the famous
baggage
phrase,
here.
"come to me."
And there's a garage band rehearsing across the street who call themselves, of all things,
They call themselves, of all things, Satan?
Satan's Night
Satan's Night Out?
Out. Satan's Night Out. Someone
This
called
him
Daniel Malloy.
figuring out that Louis has spilled all the secrets.
I burned his laptop. I didn't know he had it saved in the cloud. I only found out it was coming out a month ago.
You've known for a month? Explain yourself.
Mais Armand,
Ouais, y a des layers.
t'as-tu vu sa toile au Louvre?
Well, the book is from Daniel Malloy's perspective, and if he wrote Armand with layers and Lestat as nothing, well, I think that tells us more about Daniel Malloy's character than it does about the actual two characters. And you know what? I am an avid Devil's Minion shipper. I have not read the book. It is just that I have spent so much time in this fandom that I know what Devil's Minion is, and I'm waiting for it to happen in this show. Please.
Hey, toutes les boomers faisaient la file pour aller voir l'autre bonne femme avec sa resting bitch face. Il aurait dû le brûler, maudit français, sur Royal Street.
Right in front of
Complètement wild, ce
Lestat.
livre-là. Tu veux-tu devenir membre? Il y a 10% de...
No, thank you!
Yes, go off, Lestat.
I know what infinitesimal means.
It was raining.
No, never back. Player!
Not a harlequin.
Your editor.
Oh my
Go here.
goodness, he's so
Just
enraged.
out. Why must you complicate it?
They're wearing the characters from the book as costumes. Oh gosh. What's he gonna do?
Allergies are delusional.
He's flipping out. Oh my word. Not Lestat being like an enraged music professional, being like, these garage band enthusiasts, I want to kill them. Oh my word. Not that any human has ever been like that in my life, but I'm telling you, like, I can imagine a judge's face that when we had played in our jazz band combo, and they looked at us, and we were that garage band, and we sounded terrible, and the judge was just like, that was not good. Nope, you should have done it this way. And you know what? Yes, we should have done it his way. And I feel like that is the case with this as well. I know we're seeing Brat Prince Lestat, but Lestat does play music pretty well, I would say. I wouldn't disagree with that.
5 bars. You're hurting her. Esquire, my Manatura will come in the morning with
guitar.
a replacement. More frequent showers.
Thank you.
She's quite attractive, got to say. That drummer.
What was the question again?
Why music? Why now?
Dude, that was sick. We're doing a rewrite.
What are we doing?
So this whole tour is just some Byronic reaction to my book.
The songs are my story. Your documentary, the liner notes.
The brat sings.
Él canta para ellos.
Covenly. The great laws are clear on that. First the book, now the
More
singer. This is
vampire.
chaos.
He's texting. I miss you. Come to me. So someone he knows. What Lestat? I know he's a brat prince, and I know he's often portrayed as the enemy, by Louis or Armand, but it seems he's on the verge of a crash out. It seems like he's struggling. It looks like he's having that panic attack when he heard that guitar music outburst. It wasn't really about the music. It was about Louis, I suppose, him feeling betrayed of the book. And so maybe this whole the Vampire Lestat band crash out is really going to be a representation of his emotional crash, and we're seeing him kind of break down after this long life since the 1700s, and him finally having to go through and heal from that trauma again. I don't know if vampires can actually heal from it. They're gonna get hurt again like any human, and that they really aren't able to move on, but hopefully we'll be able to see him kind of heal and learn from his past mistakes and emotions and hurts. I still like him as a character after all. Who is he calling for? Who is he texting? It's not Louis, it's someone else. I don't understand. Such a pedantic thing to focus on, but I play the violin, so every time I see someone play the violin on a television series or on a movie, I have to comment. This hold is actually not as bad as the ones I've seen before. He is holding the bow like this correctly with a pinky out, but I can tell he's not a player because his arm's very stiff, kind of like this when it should be flowy up and down with the wrist, and his is more like this. But so far so good. It's not as bad as the ones I've seen where they're holding it like this or putting it like this, and it looks so wrong that I have to cringe.
We're at the bar this time. Hi, puppy.
I've been a bad boy.
Hi, puppy. Here's Daniel Malloy sleeping around now too. Interesting.
Pick up the fucking tambourine!
2 nights in a row competing with his guitar. 2 years as Mr. Dulac's B-movie brew. Something quite surprising happened. My music wrapped itself around me like a jungle snake constricting its prey. Muses appeared in my mind and in the now around me. Memories taking their turn. Blood in. Blood out.
Is that what he was made?
Murmuring away at the performative vampire persona I had welded into armor. The armor cracked.
I was worried that all his trauma is going to come back, because we know from the last time we heard his vampire turning was a really traumatic experience where he was taken by Marius and, in a way, sexually assaulted. I would presume is the human analogy to what he experienced. Used, entrapped, and then turned to be forever trapped, and then, from what I know, the vampire maker fledgling bond is very tight, and you feel loneliness when you're not connected with him, and Marius took his own life, so Lestat had to begin his own fledgling self with a loneliness that can't ever be fixed, that's deeper than any loneliness that a human can ever experience. And then having to have experienced years and centuries upon centuries of it, and finally finding a companion in Louis and Claudia, and those two betraying him, it must be, in a human sense, time for mental breakdown.
The bona fide vampire emerged. Which one of you's OD'd before? I should have quit right there and then.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll, 2 out of the 3, and I'm assuming with Lestat, we're going to see the 3rd.
You done this to me? Your song's gonna kill you, you know that. Everything dies. You die, I die, she dies, he dies bad.
That's foreshadowing. How is Daniel Malloy gonna die if it really is foreshadowing? Die badly. Oh man, what's going to happen? I don't even know what I could imagine him happening. We didn't see him at that auction, so maybe both Lestat and Daniel Malloy go out in this big catastrophic thing and only Louis and Armand is alive currently. Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, they coming.
Who's coming? Who's coming? Who?
Lestat is feeling depressed and panicked. That's an interesting thing about his character. He has fallen in love, got turned, fell in love again, perhaps with Armand, fell in love again with Louis. He's never had a break. He's never really had a companion that's been forever loyal to him. In fact, in the previous season, we see the American soldier kind of perform his bigotry and make fun of the homosexuality in that play, and Lestat overpowers him with his vampirism, and it was interesting to see that power dynamic truly. In fact, it applied to Louis's experience as a black man in the early 1900s, and how that and his vampirism allowed him to fight against the powers that be. And so in a way, vampirism is queer. It is an analogy for people who are ostracized and are out of that normal sense of society, and how we can imagine that we can fight back for what we deserve and what we're hoping for, and to fight for society that accepts us. And of course, in this universe, these vampires are like terrible monsters, but in a way, in the same way that their vampirism is something that Lestat is proud of, I think in a similar way we should fight to be proud of our LGBTQ community.
You are listening to The Failures, Album 5, Side B.
Now, the boutique hotel we were staying at was having a grandish opening that night, and a vampire DJ of some renown. I was having sex in an elevator with Dee and the girl I...
And there's the 3rd. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. All 3 in one day for Mr. Lestat, the brat prince rockstar.
I arrive fashionably late, of course.
State your name for the camera.
Baby Jane.
Why do you like the Vampire Lestat?
I am feeling good. Along with the band, still somehow blind to the vampiric mysteries of their frontman. Have a nervous breakdown on stage.
Were you a stutterer as a child?
Walk in the ER, they are...
Okay, Daniel Malloy keeps asking the question, are you a stutterer? Were you a stutterer as a child? And now I'm curious as to why this question is so important to Daniel. What is this? What does this question mean? What is he trying to prod at? Is he trying to incessantly ask this question so as to make Lestat open up about his life as a human? What is he trying to do? Don't know.
I excused myself to the men's room. No mention of the scars on my chest either. No ticket pocket of mine ever had his initials inscribed onto them. I mean, these Dario wags have been insane person.
Favorite part. Who is he texting? Mirt and Colin. The vampires from before. Longface sucks. But
We have a coven out here in Detroit. We have a huge house out past Brighton.
I don't think they
Always
pee in
trying
the
to make a
books.
name for themselves.
Interesting. It's
A
to match the
certain
vibe
name
of
too.
the show, I'm
Obligations,
assuming.
afraid. But please do send my most sincere bonjour to your bright Moorish coven.
You be feeling
Right.
high.
I have a spot when it comes to blood. Fool me once, on me twice. EMA, LSD. drug. Twirl, overshare.
I have to say that that episode and the twirling Louis was so beautiful. It was one of my favourite scenes, and the way that they filmed it just showed that all they could see were each other, and I think that was really beautiful in a way. Even though they're vampires and it's fantasy, it was wonderful to just see, oh, it's two men loving each other in weird, fucked up ways as vampires are, and looking at each other with such love, and they're saying fuck it all to all the 1900s societal erudites and saying, just for one night, it's us and only us, and we're in love. We're going to have this last dance, whether it kills us or not. But then you add back in the vampire and you win, and so it kind of feels like queer victory in a way.
Regionals. They want a little scrap. No worries, I thought I have the queen's blood in me. Where's the tortured act or obligational foreplay before blood drinking? There's the petit coup. It's sex. It's not all pain and toxicity. I have an immortal life and I carry with it an immortal erection, and I am not ashamed of it.
I think for Lestat, sex is a coping mechanism more than it is actually the fun that he's saying it is. He's defending it a little bit too much, as if he's using it to completely distract himself, and he's just having sex because it distracts him from the pain that he has within himself. It distracts him from actually focusing on the fact that he's pretty panicked and depressed right now, and depressed back then as well, and in truth he actually wants a companion and forever companionship, but he can't have that, and he's lonely, so he just uses sex as a coping mechanism, is what I see from Lestat. It's kind of sad. I want better for him, and I know that's weird, but I want better for him.
If only to keep time's baggage from burying you. Left the 7th floor when I had...
I'm getting married in a week.
No vampire shall ever reveal his or her true nature to a mortal. Let the mortal live.
You do know it's 2025. I killed a pack of wolves when I was immortal. Normally, confining architecture and a thrift store coven galvanized by medieval dogma wouldn't faze me in the least. As my music had unleashed Law 4, as if the Dulac Malloy memoir hadn't outed us all 2 years ago. I was just singing my song myself from the vibrant life choices I had made on my way from the Auvergne countryside to the 8th floor of this Why Bother hotel.
We are the Fang Gang.
That's a lot of memories that they just flashed through him. I just saw a body that was chopped in half. Oh, but now we're back to Armand and his coven in France. Interesting. I wonder if he's the type to like shut down all his emotions and try not to dwell on them, and now it's all just rushing back up again as a delayed emotional response.
Armand told the truth. Have you met him?
I heard there was an after party on the asshole floor.
Dan and the oddly familiar DJ. I'd be dead, I think, without Dan. But then maybe more of the world would still be alive. As you decant my blood and devour my words.
Not in front of the humans!
You for real? Hello again. Talamasca dragged me into that.
And once you reveal yourself, you have to be armed.
Théâtre des Vampires.
Were you a stutterer as a child?
What is this
This is why
question
gods
that he
prefer
keeps
hiding in
asking?
the clouds. There's nothing there but water waiting to fall. So many opportunities to call it a night that night. After the song unleashed the muses. After I was nearly decapitated in a boutique hotel hallway. But I was saved from such rational thought. Love will do that to you.
Who's coming? Who's texting? Who is this? Okay, show the face.
My shit.
My dear.
I got myself into something I can't get out of.
This
Music's opened up the bathtub, and I'm sure if I can close it again. It's very nice to see you.
is this?
My Gabrielle.
Gabriella.
So much of fledgling. Lover. Mother.
Mother?
Listen to tracks from
Mother? Are you saying this is an incestuous relationship? I wonder how they're going to present that, because incest is a very fraught topic, because we know that the child is always the victim, and I strongly support that, but this is a relationship kind of between monsters who were once human? It's interesting. What are my final thoughts of this first episode? I really enjoyed the thematic switch up between gothic romance of the first 2 seasons to modern rock and roll. They definitely filmed in a much more explicit and kind of front face view that kind of reflects that rock and roll style of living. It's abrupt and flashy and overwhelming, and I think in a way it kind of represents Lestat, who's going through a mental breakdown right now, and he's confessing that to Gabriella in this last scene before we left off, that he's not at his best right now, that music in a way has opened up all the emotions and memories as he's kind of shut down in the past, and so now we're seeing him going through the process of opening that up again, and somehow whatever he does in this mental health breakdown causes a global catastrophe. So I have no clue. On the note of Daniel Malloy, I was expecting and excited to see him again because it's Daniel Malloy. He's so sarcastic, and he's an elder queer in a way, and he's so sassy, and he's just perfect in this role. And I want to see him with Armand. Like, I could just imagine his daughters looking at him and being like, what in the world are you doing with this 24-year-old young man? But, and the fact that it's Devil's Minion and how convoluted and traumatic that is. It's so gothic and I love it, and I'm here for it. Alright, well, thank you for watching my reaction to episode 1, and it's time to go on to episode 2.